So I got the level on this custom race header that was made, and it's hard to see, but there is major buildup of that one in gaps on the bottom. See, you can see it, see that middle one there, and pretty bad on the bottom one. So I'm going to send this to the machine shop and see if we can get this machined down flat and fix a lot of problems before we have any. Come to my favorite part of any build that I've ever had to do. It's fabrication. And we got a little bit of fabrication on this job. Sway bar, that whole mess, that's going to be done when we're done with the engine. This header, somebody fabricated up long before I ever owned it. And this ring here is just too tall for the other one. So I'm going to try to take my old grinder, because a mill or a belt sander is just not available, and grind it down as close as I can. Get her with the air one after that. And we can flat edge her with a level I got. See how good we're going to do. But this should be fun. I like doing this. Safety first. As flat as I dare get. I got a little bit of a divot, I guess you would call it, here, but I think the gasket's going to do its job. If it doesn't, I have several more gaskets. It's easy enough to pull out of there and maybe take it to a machine shop and have them flatten it as good as we can. It's got a really big, thick flange on it, 3/8 of an inch, 10 millimeters, something like that, and I feel like we can flatten this down several times before we really come into a problem. So I'm gonna go with it. Next thing to do is, what do I do with it? Great, lost my, oh there it is. We're gonna wrap this thing in header wrap. I've never done this before, so we're gonna find out how hard this is to do, and then get the bolts in.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move.
This is really hard. This is a lot harder than I thought, because I didn't buy a ton and I don't want to mess it up and cut one too short and have it look all wonky. My first one wasn't great. My second one's better, but it just got with zip ties so I don't mess up all of these. But watch a video or two. I just watched a couple and I think I'm getting it, but oh.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you.
Well, that was a major pain in the ass. Watch a couple videos, don't just try to do that like I did. I got it. I'm pleased with what I've done, but I got mad enough to hit my hammer on the bench. I was do it and over and over again, but we got it, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy. I think it's as good as it's going to get. It's going to be stuffed in there. It's going to do its job. That's the important thing. And it's not going to look terrible. So next time, next is install. This is another fantastic thing, Toyota. The Ford and GM never did this. O2 sensor, don't have an O2 sensor. I got a socket somewhere, right? Don't need it for a Toyota. Look, you can put it over the plug. Right to the thing, tighten it up. Japanese know what they're doing.
Throw it again, Dad.
You put the plug right through the box head wrench. You can put this right onto the sensor and take it off. If you're a Ford GM tech, you push your grandma down to do that. Oh, we got the header, that beautiful header installed. O2 sensor done. All the oil lines down there, you can kind of see them done. Tightened up tidied up all the little loose things. We'll put this on after we crank it. Fuel line kind of fixed. We got this all routed correctly. This is a diagnostic connector. This goes to the mass airflow sensor. I do not know where these two go. I think they go to the original air box that's long gone. And I got this one here. I don't know where that goes either. I thought it went to the O2 sensor, but we found that on another wire. Closer, a lot closer. Oh boy.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you.
So we got a bunch of mass airflow sensors for this car. The one that was on it, like everything else, is covered in oil and barely moves. See, it's real sluggish. This one, which is much cleaner inside, is right back, but it doesn't have this cover on here. And I'll show you what I mean. This car did not have the factory air box on it when we got it. The throttle body is much smaller. We can fix that, but there's a room for pretty much one of these round K&N style filters. But I don't have a bracket to hold this, and this pipe's not gonna hold everything. So we're gonna make a bracket off these studs, or maybe we remove one of these, put bolts in over to the factory stud mounts, airbox mounts. So we have some support here. So that's a project tonight, and maybe we get it running.
You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move.
So this isn't done yet, and there's this kind of, I'm going to take this, let's see if it focuses. Take this, bend it up underneath here. Put another hole and bolt that go through here so that I can steady this correctly. Plug weld, take this bolt out, plug weld that, take that bolt out, plug weld that. Maybe run another support here. Probably don't need it, but with this L bracket. But it's gonna make it look a lot nicer when I'm done with it. I'll paint it and take the edges off, but it's gonna hold the weight of the mass airflow sensor and the filter. We're gonna filter like this. That goes on there. Probably get a new one, but it'll look a lot nicer, neater than a big piece of something. I don't know what happened. Great, just great.